Good evening and welcome to today's daily market update from Time Price Analysis. This is being recorded just after the close of the US markets on Wednesday, April the 18th. So really tricky action in the markets today. So everything gapped up. Then we got what looked to be a strong pullback that looked like it was going to continue early on. Then a rally back to the overnight highs and then just chop all day. So very, very easy action to get chopped up in. Again, we had several profitable day trades in the room, but it's really is a day trader's market. But even then, you have to be incredibly cautious with what you're doing to not get just whipsawed around and give this market money back. So starting tonight with our look at the daily chart of the S&P 500, top of the three, WXA. And I think we are either at or one last 4-5 away from this B wave being in before we drop down to our target at 2470 to 2479 in the S&P 500. Just zooming into the 4-hour chart, there's the A, A, B, C. You can see we've poked our head above the 1.0 and the 618, which does open up the possibility that we go to 2741. Excuse me. Clear my throat. 2741 before we drop. Not necessary, and I am expecting a drop imminently now in the S&P 500. And you can see even on the 40-minute chart, we've got extreme divergence on the MACD histogram, and the signal lines are starting to roll over as well. Coming down the time frames, just looking at it here on the hourly time frame, you can see the technical divergences here between the top of this A wave and where we are now. This is not the signature of a third wave to the upside, guys. This is a signature of an A, B, C. Remember, B waves, if you read the books, are fakes, and they push and push and push until everyone's given up on the short side. Then everything lets go in the final swoon to the low. And typically as well, when we end a correction like this of this degree of fractal, we should see a washout day and reversal. We haven't seen that. I'm still expecting it. So coming on down and looking at the NDX, same thing, WXABC, and coming down the time frames, you can see this B wave. We're right at the 618 in the NDX now, poked slightly through it today and then back down, and therefore we've got enough in place here, picture perfect pattern into the fib. Of course, it can push higher, 69.72, not necessary. It's at the 138.2, 618, looking for the drop. Same technical signature, etc., in this index as in the S&P 500. Dow Jones, same, well, sorry, slightly different count. I've got an A, B, 1, 2, 3, and I think this is the fourth in a diagonal, just needing the fifth down, ideally to around the 22,633 to 22,760 level in the Dow Jones. And you can see we're a hair's breadth from this 764 retrace. That is the retrace of the length of this 3 off the top of the related wave 2, and is at 24,936. So we could get one last little push up to tag that, but I'm expecting then to come on down for the final fifth of this C in the Dow Jones Industrial. Now the Russell's interesting. A, B, and I've still got this potential impulse as a 1, 2, right up to the 886 today, and then it started to turn late on. So I'm looking for the Russell to let go, to give us the heads up that the corrective move up in the US indices is done and dusted. So watch the Russell tomorrow. 1594 is quite a key level. Above there, 1610. We do not want to see it, well, so 1609 in fact, we do not want to see it back above there. Ideally, it just makes life more complicated. But you can see up to touch the fib at the 138.2 today, and down we've come into the close this evening. There it is. And we've got a 1, 2, 3. We could do it a 4, 5, and so on and so forth. We need to take out this level here at 1574 next in the Russell. Okay, so UK FTSE, we're looking for the first 5 up off this 4. I think its low is in. Bear in mind, the European indices started their correction some considerable time before the US markets, so it wouldn't be unreasonable for them to bottom slightly earlier. And this is the count up off that low. Two possibilities, an ABC 1, 2, ABC for the 3. We're now just poked ahead above this 138.2 extension here. So as a diagonal, this is starting to look a little suspect here. But if it is the diagonal, we should get a 4, 5. The alternative we've been tracking is as an impulse, and we've got a 1, 2. This one, which came to the 1.0, which is high, doesn't break any rules, but it's just higher than one would expect. ABC for the 2, 3 into the 1618, 4 that held here, 5 up for all of 3 into the 2.0, 4 is held again, and this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 up. We've got enough in place to consider this complete. Can push up higher, 73.50, 73.93 are the next two levels above us, and we're not going to know whether this is the correct count or the diagonal until we see the retrace. So in the diagonal, we should hold at 71.05 to 7053, whereas in the impulse count, we should come deeper than that, ironically. So be on the lookout for that in the FTSE. The story is going to be told by the next move to the downside in the UK FTSE. German DAX, daily chart, 4 in, looking for the 5 up, and just tracking this first, it's a minuet degree, 1 up in the DAX. And here's the count for it, 5 up to here is a diagonal, 2. I think we need a little push higher to finish this 3 into the 2.0. 4 back, which needs to hold 12,219, and then up one more time to the 12,835 to 12,943 area, and that should be a complete and quite decent looking 5-wave move structure to the upside. We'll be then looking for a move back down to 11,982 to 12,141 for the 2. See that and hold, and then we can get long for the swing trade in the German DAX. Okay, moving over and looking at commodities, I'm going to start with NG tonight, and I'm tracking this diagonal up for this one at minor degree here. So I've got this gawpy move up that I'm counting as the 1, 2 back. I'm looking for an A, B, C up to 2,900 for the 3. That puts us in the C of this 3, and I've been tracking that on the hourly chart. I was looking for this 3 to come up to the 2618, and it was on its way today. That it's come back. I think it's in at the 2.0, and we're coming down here to 2717. If we take out 2702, then this count is wrong, and something else is going on in natural gas. And I would suggest that it's possible that we've got a 4 in place, and this 2 is still not in, and we're going to drop down even lower. That's possible in natural gas. Not really what I'm expecting, but it is possible. So we have to still be careful with this thing. In the meantime, continue to track this. Watch 2717, 2702 below us. Want to see one of those hold and push this back up strongly to the 2900 level next in natural gas. Now, CL, let's just go to the daily chart. This is what we were looking for, this final 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 push up here, 69.17, and you can see into the close today we've got up to this 138.2 at 68.94, just looking for the last push higher probably, and then down. If we take out that level, this 138.2 fib at 69.40 or so, then something else is going on here, and this can go a lot higher. So I'm watching closely tomorrow to see what happens here. Ideally, we hit the fib and then we come down strongly tomorrow. And I'm still looking down to this region down here between 45 and 49 in CL before we resume the upside into the high 70s. Okay, precious metals and miners. Let's start with the daily chart of gold. So we're tracking this 1, ABC 2 into the 50% retrace, another 5-wave move up into the January high for the 1, ABC for 2 back, then the diagonal up, picture perfect diagonal fib-wise, and then off the 1, I'm looking for this 2 to come down to 1317 to 1328. One of those holds and we start to bounce, we can get long for a move up to potentially 1470 next in GC. And then let's just show you this on there. There's the count for the diagonal, the 1, 2, 3 into the 123.6, 4, 5, smack into the 1618, A down into the 50% retrace, spike and reversal day for the bit today for the top of the B, looking for the C down. That would be then the final 1-2 before we take off in GC. Then in silver, I'm looking for this MACD to break out strongly on the daily chart. And if I come down to the 4-hour chart, 1, 2, 1, 2, I think this we saw today was the top of the next one as a diagonal. This is what we've been tracking in the hourly chart: ABC for a 1, ABC for a 2, ABC for the 3 into the 1.0. The 4 held the 618 retrace, then an A, B, C. Can push up one last time to this 1732 for the C. This is going to be a small 4 and then finish off the 5th of this C. Then expect the pullback against all of this move up from the low at 1609. And the ideal levels for that around 1638 to 1655. So that's what I'm looking for in silver. And then we can get long for the breakout in silver. Maybe part position here, part on the breakout might be the prudent way to play this. Now the GDX got a spike and reversal intraday today. It looks to me like this little diagonal wasn't quite complete for this B. Ideally looking for a move down to 20.07 to 20.12. with the possibility of 1993. The pattern's more complex in the GDX because of this low here, and then up and to at least the 2835 and possibly higher in the GDX. So again, just looking here, there's today's intraday spike and reversal, and there's an A, B, C here for this B wave, looking for this move down here next in the GDX. And again, you can see we've got the divergences on the technicals that we would expect. So lower next before potentially quite a large move to the upside in the minors as well. Okay, coming over and looking at currencies, starting with the US dollar, still looking for this to break out to the upside and confirm that this A wave is in here. Otherwise, we can drop down one more time to this 86.76 level. And hourly chart, we held the fib yesterday. Just got this, it's such a mess on a smaller time frame. Just watch 90.6 and 91 above us. We need to see those taken out strongly in the DXY. Coming over and looking at the euro, which is what we're trading, we're looking for this move down to below parity and confirmation that the primary 4 is done. Then if I just come down to the hourly chart, if that's the 4, we've got a 1, 2, 1, 2. Thus far, we shorted this, and we're short again. So let's hope this one follows through this time and starts to give us a more decent move to the downside and some bigger profits this time. Then in cable, I'm looking for confirmation that this 4 is in, and we were looking for a stronger drop today to start to give us some comfort. We came up and hit this 618 and dropped off yesterday. We got what we were looking for today, 1, 2, and I think we're in the 3rd down. If I come down to the 15-minute chart, there's the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I think this is the 3 of 3 into the 238.2. 4 held at the 138.2 today. I think we dropped down to the 2618 next, then another 4, 5. That would give us all of the 1. And again, we got short using our day trading levels yesterday, right up at the top on this thing. So make sure you've got some off now. I would bring the stop down to 1.42589 here, this 123.6, just above where we are, in case we're going to get an A, B, C for a slightly higher 4. We do not want to see it above there, and we certainly don't want to see it back at the 1.0. That would invalidate lower on an immediate basis. So the 123.6 is the prudent place to put the stop. You should have half off anyway, and bear in mind this is just the initial one down. So we would look to play this out to this level down here, bank the profits, and then get short again on the retrace. US dollar, Japanese yen, looking for this move up in the C here to at least 118.85, possibly 122.42. I think this B's in, and we're tracking this move up off it. I've got a 1, 2, A, looking for a B to come lower, C of 3, and then a 4, 5. I'm not married to this necessarily being correct on its subwaves. What I am looking for is to track it's unfolding as a diagonal. That much we can be clear about, but that we get a completed diagonal to the upside, then we hold a retrace fib against it. and that gives us our swing long entry in the US dollar Japanese yen. So just still a bit more patience and watching for now. Australian dollar, I think we're in the sea of this 5 up here with an ideal target of 84.89, and that we're in the first 5 wave move to the upside of this C. Bear in mind, I know all of this is a diagonal, but this is the C, so it should be a 5 wave, preferably impulse structure. So here's the count for it off the recent low: 1 up as a diagonal, 2, 3 into the 1764, the 4 held where it needed to today, and we got a strong reversal to the upside. So I'm looking for continuation up to 78.72, and then the pullback, which should hold a Fibonacci retracement level and give us the opportunity to get a swing long position in the Australian dollar. So Bitcoin still looking higher to complete the C of this B wave before we drop down to the 2474 area in Bitcoin. Here's the count off the top of the 3. There's the A, B, and I think we're in this up here into our target region, ideally between 12,552 and 14,962. And hourly chart off the bottom, this is the support that must hold in order for us to get up to this sort of level. I've got a 1, 2, I still think we're in the 3 of what should just be an A wave. Then we get another B, then the C up. Okay, so nothing broken today, not really much progress, but still tracking this count. Quick look at Ethereum, since someone asked the other day. Still think this was the 3 of 3, and this was an A of 4 down. We're in a B back up, and then we drop down here to 133.62 in Ethereum before we go up here. And 240-minute chart, ABC for the A. I think we're in this B wave here, looking for 715 to 841 before we drop down again in this C wave to complete the 4. And Ripple, very difficult count in Ripple. This could be all of the 1 up, and we're coming much deeper down here to the 0.044 area, or we've got an A, B, and we're dropping down in this C. And again, if this is a 4, it can morph into a WXY or any kind of pattern it likes. So just watch the levels, and the levels to watch are 0.213, 0.141, and if we get below there, I think we're likely coming down here to the 618, 764 retrace, and all of this is the initial 1 up in Ripple. Okay, that's it from me for today. I will be back first thing tomorrow morning with the usual posts for the FTSE, DAX and currencies in the forum, and then again tomorrow afternoon in the live room.